What you're currently watching is my normal programming workspace. I'm using Neovim with a bunch of integrated plugins. Neovim is a text editor that is controlled by the keyboard. Yep, you do not need to touch your mouse while programming. Using Neovim, I can do a lot of stuff while editing and reading code. So much so that I never need to leave Neovim to perform any task, all while never leaving the comfort of my keyboard. So, you're a developer who uses a normal graphical IDE like VSCode, Sublime Text, JetBrains, or any other graphical IDE. These IDEs require you to use a mouse to navigate and do stuff, and when you move your hands from the keyboard to the mouse, it is disastrous for you as you're losing efficiency and speed, and it also breaks the chain of thought that you were thinking while using a keyboard. So you need to use a text editor using which you can navigate around multiple files and multiple texts using your keyboard and do not ever have to touch your mouse while programming. Neovim is an editor that can help you program only using the keyboard. I got a lot more efficient in programming when I started to use Neovim. Also, Neovim is very composable, and by that I mean that you can configure everything in Neovim according to your liking and make it function as you want it to. Also, Neovim has a great community that provides lots of paint-in plugins and features. You must be thinking,
My current graphical editor is also composable and has a great community of extensions and plugins.
Neovim is just on another level, and let me give you a fact. If your goal is to become a real software engineer and not somebody who just writes front end code, you will at some time need to use the terminal for everything because most of the developer tools are command line programs and Neovim integrates perfectly with them. Even if you're a front end developer, or heck, even an author, Neovim can increase your productivity by 10x. Just try it. If you do not like it, just get back to using your graphical IDE. You could be thinking,
Fuck it! I don't care about the efficiency. I don't need to learn how to use a keyboard only text editor to make myself efficient.
you need to get efficient to become a 10x developer. If you do not know how to use email and you say,
I'm not going to learn how to use this electronic mail thingy and be efficient. I just post a letter and save the time that I would waste on learning how to use email.
no, don't do that. It is stupid. You're wasting so much more time by not learning how to be efficient than you would invest on learning how to be efficient. As someone great once said, being inefficient is fine, but staying inefficient is not fine. If all these reasons still do not convince you to try Neovim, you need to trust me considering that I'm an angel sent by God to give you the wonderful gift, and I'm pretty sure that you would thank me in the future for recommending you Neovim. Now, I would show you some fancy things the Neovim can accomplish. This is my Neovim setup. I can see a list of my active projects. After choosing a project, I have a list of the files in that project, from which I can choose a file to edit. I also get a preview of the file which I can look at. I can then open the file manager to have a look at all the files that I have in that project. I can then shift between files in a pane. The parsers in Neovim provide syntax highlighting for the code, and language server protocols provide suggestions and snippets while writing code. They also point out any errors or warnings. I can even search for any text inside the project root directory, then preview the file containing the text or open it in another tab or pane. I can search for files in a project as well as search the currently opened files. I even have Git support. So I have Git features integrated inside Neovim, like I can git blame or git diff a file like this. You can even open multiple terminals inside of Neovim. Now you must have got anxious about how the fuck will you remember all these keyboard commands to do all this stuff. I even have a solution for that. When you press a key, you get a small window at the bottom showing all the possible key combinations that you can use to perform various tasks. You can even view Neovim docs, key combinations, and all the commands inside of Neovim. Heck, if you're coming over from VS Code, you can even get that color theme that looks exactly like the VS Code default color theme. You can even create presentations inside of Neovim if you do not want to leave Neovim. And also organize your tasks using Neog inside of Neovim. You can integrate anything into Neovim. All this without leaving the home row of your keyboard. Now, if you have made up your mind to start using or at least try Neovim, you might be thinking that what is the difference between Vim and Neovim? There are some differences, but to be concise, Neovim is just a better version of Vim, which has almost all the features that Vim has. So I would say that you go with Neovim because it has a lot more plugins and a better community. Now you're all ready to learn how to use Neovim. So where do you get started? I'm going to guide you through learning Neovim. You can go on to install Neovim on your system. It would be a lot better if you have a Linux or Mac OS or WSL on your local machine because there are generally more resources and support for Linux and Mac OS in the developer community. You can go on to learn Neovim on Windows too, but this is a path that I do not recommend because you will have to face certain problems that will cost you a lot of time to fix, and a lot of popular plugins do not support Windows. For Linux, macOS, and WSL, the procedure is going to be pretty much the same, and you can go on to watch this video. For setting up Neovim on Windows, you can go on to watch this video. If you've already installed Neovim, you can go on to watch the Learning Neovim playlist and start with learning the basics of Neovim. Thanks for watching, and do give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever I post a new video.